My name is Jonathon McDaniel, and I'm the CLG LCS General Manager.
I think what's really exciting about Jonathon to me is that he's had some scouting experience, he's had some coach, some analyst experience, and he went from a successful time at C9 to obviously being the assistant general manager at Golden Guardians, and I'm excited for him to be taking his next step with us at CLG.
I've had a GM offer in the past for another team, and ultimately part of the reason why I turned it down is I think it's really important for me to be aligned with the upper management within the organizations I joined to make sure that we're all bought in on this vision. I think for me, a really big piece of it is that developmental aspect, making sure that we're, from step one, putting that as the forefront, making sure that we're giving players opportunities and we're not trying to cut any corners by spending money here and there just to try and make a splash in the immediate, that we're really committing to our systems that we're putting forward and making sure that that's kind of like the guiding principle of a lot of our program. So I think a lot of the skills that I bring to the table is obviously a lot of player scouting and development experience. I think for me, not just relying on my own eye test, but being able to be collaborative with other folks and see, putting together a very clear picture based on all the different factors in play. And, where a lot of teams have chosen to import, I definitely want to choose to support these talent systems that we have in place and really reward the players that have put in their due diligence within the North American system. And I think there's a lot of good talent out there that just hasn't really been given the chance. And we've seen bits of them peeking through on some of the top rosters, but I definitely want to make sure that we're getting more than just a few people here and there, that we're getting a clear generational flow of players up from the developmental systems into the LCS itself.
I think for us, the focus right now is really tying ourselves to a specific vision with our roster and putting in the building blocks for us to be successful in the long term. I think some of the rightful criticism over the last couple years has been that we've kind of adapted to different things each year and we've had a bunch of roster turnover. But I think for us, a big theme of ours for this offseason is going to be that we're building for the future. We're trying to establish really good building blocks and players that we're hoping to keep not just next year, but the year following, and truly building towards something sustainable and long-term and growing with our players and staff over time rather than adjusting year over year.
I think the big thing for CLG fans to know moving forward is, this isn't going to be a one split and done kind of thing. We're not going to go right back to the faith age or anything like that. This is going to be a bit of a slow ride. We're going to be making sure we're doing all the steps in the right order and making sure not to skip any. I think we want to make sure that you guys are able to be proud of this organization and bringing it back to the heights that it's been in the past. But obviously we need to make sure that we're making the right steps and we're not trying to cut any corners. I think for players getting the opportunity to fail and have that be okay, setting clear expectations to make sure that everyone's part of the vision. No one gets to be left out. No one's just a piece in the machine. We're all part of the same goal. We're all part of a team. We're all part of CLG.
With off-season approaching and Jonathon joining at this time, the key for us is to establish our competitive vision and make sure that we're committing to it over the course of next season and beyond.
One promise I'll make to the CLG fans is that there's always going to be something to look forward to. Whether that's a player making a big splash in the LCS or even in Academy or potentially in the more developmental ecosystems that get kind of fleshed out over time. I want to make sure that CLG is always a part of that, and you're always able to find some piece of CLG that you're able to look forward to and be able to watch and kind of be part of its growth throughout the next few years of CLG.
It's an interesting time of year. It's a stressful time of year on the front office side, but obviously for the fans, it's an exciting one, and I'm hopeful that we come away with a really exciting team. Stay tuned, because I think like every LCS offseason, it's going to be a wild ride.